Imagine a man who once walked among Hezbollah's elite, a man who has now become a voice predicting their downfall. Mohamad Ali El Husseini, once part of Hezbollah, now lives in exile, issuing warnings not just to his former comrades, but to the entire region. Today, he stands as a fierce opponent of Hezbollah in Iran, predicting events that have left the world stunned. Who is this man? And why are his words shaking the foundations of power in the Middle East? Born in Shmester, a small town in Lebanon's Baalbek district, Mohamad Ali El Husseini came from one of the 7 prominent Shiite Lebanese families with direct ties to the Prophet Muhammad. Educated in the seminary in Qom, Iran, he was swept into Hezbollah's inner circle, gaining trust and even standing side by side with Hassan Nasrallah, the Secretary General of Hezbollah. But as he rose within their ranks, he began to see the growing influence of Iran and the harm it brought to Lebanon. He saw Hezbollah's mission twist, turning from defense to an aggressive regional agenda that left Lebanon in constant danger. By the 2000s, El Husseini was ready to break free. He joined the March 14th Alliance, a group that formed in response to the assassination of Prime Minister Rafiq Hariri, opposing Syrian and Iranian influence in Lebanon. For El Husseini, this was a radical decision, one that isolated him from former allies and drew him into fierce political confrontations with Hezbollah. Hezbollah responded by labeling him a traitor and accusing him of collaborating with Israel, a claim that would soon lead to his arrest. In 2011, amid rising political tensions, El Husseini was arrested by Lebanese authorities on charges of espionage. The accusations of collaborating with Israel, a charge commonly used against Hezbollah's opponents, were part of a broader attempt by Hezbollah to silence him. He faced a lengthy prison sentence, but a political deal in 2014 secured his release, allowing him to leave Lebanon. Eventually, he would settle in Saudi Arabia. In 2021, under a royal decree, Saudi Arabia granted El Husseini citizenship, a move that symbolized more than just a new home. Saudi Arabia's Vision 2030 initiative aims to attract intellectuals and innovators, individuals who embody a moderate, forward-looking Islam. For Saudi Arabia, El Husseini represented this ideal. Here was a Shiite cleric who supported interfaith dialogue, advocated for peace, and condemned extremism. In his own words, El Husseini pledged to serve Saudi Arabia until his last breath, calling the kingdom a nation that embraces all and rises above sectarian divides. Settling in Saudi Arabia didn't mean he left his past behind. El Husseini continued to speak out against Hezbollah and Iran, even declaring that Iran was the #1 enemy in the region. He warned that Hezbollah's alignment with Iran only brought disaster to Lebanon, and he championed the Abraham Accords, supporting diplomatic relationships between Arab nations and Israel as a pathway to peace. But perhaps one of the most daring acts was his visit to Auschwitz in 2020. Alongside an interfaith delegation, El Husseini stood on the grounds of the concentration camp, denouncing Nazi atrocities and expressing solidarity with Jewish victims. He described it as a moral obligation, a stand against any form of religious or ethnic oppression. The visit sparked outrage among his former allies. Hezbollah officials accused him of betraying Lebanon and desecrating religious traditions, and soon, death threats flooded in. With his life in danger, El Husseini sought asylum in France. Jewish organizations, recognizing the profound risk he faced, stepped in to help secure his safety. Rabbi David Rosen, who had organized the Auschwitz visit, expressed a deep commitment to protecting El Husseini, a man risking his life for unity and understanding. In his recent open letter published in the Saudi newspaper Okaz, El Husseini warned Nasrallah to, quote, draft his will. He reminded him of their journey together in Hezbollah, saying, We began this journey side by side, but you fell into Iran's embrace. With a somber tone, he warned Nasrallah that his loyalty to Iran would lead to his end. Those who bought you have now sold you, he told Nasrallah, urging him to prepare for what was coming. Within days, Nasrallah was assassinated. This isn't an idle threat, he said. Israel will demolish everything. Draft your will because the ones who bought you have sold you. These words, foretelling Nasrallah's demise, circulated widely across the Arab world, many seeing El Husseini as a prophet, others as a voice of truth. In a unique outreach, El Husseini directly addressed Israelis, calling them cousins and urging peace. He's been outspoken about the misuse of religious texts to justify violence. He stated, "We call on rabbis, priests, and Muslim clerics to underplay violent texts, as they are more dangerous than nuclear weapons." This bold stance against sectarian division and violence only deepened his opposition to Hezbollah in Iran. El Husseini's role as a Shiite prophet has only grown. He accurately predicted the deaths of prominent Hezbollah and Hamas leaders, including Yahya Sinwar, and continues to warn of the consequences Lebanon will face if Hezbollah's aggression persists. Some call him a prophet, others a traitor. Yet his influence and unwavering stance for peace cannot be ignored. Mohamad Ali El Husseini's journey is extraordinary. A man who shifted from Hezbollah insider to a proponent of peace, a man who faced death threats to stand for unity, and a man who continues to issue warnings to some of the most powerful figures in the Middle East. Saudi Arabia's decision to grant him citizenship is more than symbolic. It represents a commitment to moderate voices, even from within historically divided sects. What does his story tell us about the changing dynamics in the region? Could El Husseini's predictions come true once again, with consequences that reach beyond borders? What do you think? Will El Husseini's warnings come to pass? Do you believe Israel will take unprecedented action against Iran? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and if you found this story as compelling as we did, please subscribe to our channel for more deep insights and powerful stories. Don't forget to like, share, and click the thanks button if you feel inspired to support our work. And for exclusive content, click join to become a member today. Thank you very much for watching.